Welcome to the world of altcoin trading, where the parrot's wisdom is constantly aiding. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and crypto bots on display. The trading parrot leads the way. Oh yeah. With 3 commas, all trading and weak hunter in the mix. Trading knowledge that's hard to resist. Souls of the trade, join the stream, don't be afraid. Trading bad souls of trade. Join the stream, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. The trading parrots soaring
Hello guys, welcome to the Train Parrot. It's an interesting day here. I woke up this morning reading the news about Trump. It was pretty intense to see, I have to admit it. If that bullet was slightly moved to the right or to the left, it would have been massive. I think it's still going to be big. The markets are reacting. Actually, Bitcoin took it as something positive, the fact that he's fine and he's the candidate that is supporting Bitcoin. This show is called the CryptoMap, and what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be covering altcoins. It's supposed to be all about altcoins. It's supposed to be 1 full hour where I take your requests. I can do live TA of any coin that you write down in the comments. Preferably, if you're watching this from YouTube, I'm going to be able to see immediately your requests from there. But let's have a look at the market. You can see that the past week has been pretty good for the altcoins. There's been some recovery. So we're going to look into first why we're seeing this kind of effect at this point in time, where people were expecting that the altcoins were not going to be doing this by now. But if you've been following the videos of the past week, we were kind of forecasting that some sort of bounce was expected. So let me get the comments out of the way. By the way, if you want to support the channel, make sure that you're subscribed, hit the notification bell, and if you feel like supporting really the channel, watch this full video and leave a comment and write down the coins that you want me to review. You can get some inspiration from this image that you see here. Let's go with the rest. So in the past 5 days, that's been actually inflows all the time. So strong buying from the ETFs, that's positive. But I'm going to cover as well why I'm a little bit worried about this current move to above 60K. And I think right now we are already seeing a little bit of a bounce back down. Hopefully we close the gap. So there's a CME gap formed from 57.7. So that's going to attract the price back to where it came from with a 90% of probability. Okay, so it's not 100% likely, but very close to the top of the probabilities. It's very high win rate, this strategy using CME gaps, particularly during the weekends. You can also use them during the week. There is some gaps as well appearing every now and then. So before we get into the charts, the order I'm going to go is I'm going to cover some tweets first, then I'm going to look into TA of Bitcoin for hour and daily. I'll give you an update on what's going on with this breakout, whether I believe it's sustainable, and then we're going to go full on with all the altcoins. I'll give as well an update on recently I made a video about altcoins, and I cover a few altcoins there, and I'm gonna give you an update on them as well. Here's the list from that video. So very quickly we'll see that they are doing pretty well according to our forecast. So that's awesome. Let's go to the tweets. So this image I think is gonna make history. It's gonna appear everywhere. I don't want to get political or anything, but I'm liking more the things related to crypto that are coming from Trump, and I think many of you are on the same boat. Not necessarily that I like or I dislike the candidate. I won't confess anything here live. Uh, Titan of Crypto says here that Bitcoin is on the way to 62.8. He's using Ichimoku analysis, Ichimoku cloud in here. You can see that it bounced perfectly on the blue line, and it's coming to the level of almost 64. That makes a lot of sense to me. So that's a likely scenario as well. But on the other end, we have support from the cloud located between 48.9 and 51K, which also makes a lot of sense if we were unable to get above those levels as well. And this is an index that I haven't covered in quite a long time, but it's very useful. It's called the CBBI. It's for free. The website is that acronym.info. And when we were at the bottom of the market, this index was marking like 6 or 5, something like that. And now at the moment is 62. It goes from 0 to 100. So you could say we are 62% in progress with the bull market. I've seen some other people saying we are 40% only. It's all, this is all very objective because it's based on a collection of indicators all together, pack each one giving you a reading, and then those numbers are piled together into this index. Very interesting things. Go and have a look at it. And Roman, I've been following him kind of uh, I kind of agree with a lot of things that he's doing, but interestingly, he uses completely other tools and we get to the same outcomes. So it's very interesting to see when other traders do use different tools and still you see the same. Still seeing the same bear flag. So there was a bear flag there, a bear flag here. When I give you the update on Bitcoin, we're gonna recognize these patterns on the RSI. The RSI, it gives me the same reading. Continuing to not show uptrend, and the volume is going down, the price is going up. That's bearish price action. I have no issue if we go up from here. Sometimes you get faking out. All signals tell you down, and the price still goes up because something happens that you need to get used to being wrong in when you trade every now and then, hopefully. So he thinks that this is going to come back down to 52. That's why I'm fishing those areas. If I'm wrong, I still have a good amount of Bitcoin, but if we go to 52, I'm going to have more. My behavior on accumulation of Bitcoin is like the wells. The price, the lowest it goes, the more I buy. And then if it starts going up, the higher it goes, the more I sell. That's all my strategy for accumulation. It's separate from my swing trading, which obviously requires a lot more effort and attention. So here we have good news as well for the crypto market, particularly for the altcoins. We are seeing one by one how the SEC is pulling back on many cases. In this case, is for stacks that they remove the filing, the suit. So that is great, awesome news. We also see XRP going up this weekend. I think is at 20% up. And we haven't covered in a while liquidity, but it's good to see every now and then from different influencers covering liquidity. When I forget, I find it from some other people as well. Where are we in the liquidity cycle? If your answer is relatively early, then Bitcoin sub 60K looks like a steal. So the liquidity is very low at the moment, and it should, and at some point, the money printer should resume. That is something related to the monetary policy that we are expecting now with over a 90% the interest rates to go down. So hopefully soon. And here you have Matt talking about the weekly close. Very interesting. I think there's going to be an arm wrestling between my thesis, one of my theses, actually, the one that says that the CME gaps are going to pull us back down below 58 by Monday. And I might be completely wrong because maybe with all these things that are going on with Trump, that was just precisely what was needed, maybe to break the highs we're going to have to see in the charts shortly, if that's the case. But if we close the weekly like this, that might invalidate or delay that visit to 57 to a lot later, who knows when. But this is positive. Closing like this the week, it will mean that this was just a liquidity graph. In my opinion, with the close below, it's like too edgy to be a liquidity grab, but possibly, maybe it's still a liquidity grab. And now we are due for a run to the high of the range. And here you can see the network through hash rate drawdown. And typically, this helps to understand when the hash ribbons, the miners, end their capitulation. And at the moment, we are as low as we were at the very bottom of the bear market. So that's pretty impressive to be almost above 60, between 60 and 59, with this massive capitulation from the miners. We have the miners at the moment, we have empty GOGs. That is still an argument to think that we could go even lower. Luckily, Germany is out of the way, so that's great. We also have Willy Woo. He's been multiple cycles talking about on-chain data. Sometimes he gets things right, sometimes very wrong. I remember some things that I listened to him and he was really wrong. But on this one, this is very objective. The hash ribbons are flipping. There's like a full ribbon of EMAs related to the hash. And the moment it starts flipping is the beginning of the end of the capitulation, with a potential buy signal coming at some point in the next weeks. So that's great. And 61 is packed with liquidity. I remind you, I made a video about this tool. This tool is called Trading Different. It's pretty cool because it's live. It's showing you the liquidations live. That is something that I didn't have before. I was focusing on Glassnode and on High Block Capital, which are amazing tools as well. But this is complementing very well now my toolset. And here you can see that with the pump, the Trump pump that we are seeing this weekend, the open interest skyrocketed to 17 point almost 4 billion. And that is crazy. And that is not healthy for a pump over a weekend. That means that many people are using this just to trade with a lot of leverage over the weekend, and that tends to mean that they're just going to take a very quick profit out of the news. And when they start closing their positions, there's a snowball effect, and everything goes back to 16.5 billion open interest. This is represents the amount of positions with leverage that are currently in the market. So that's skyrocketing right now, and it's short-lived. It's not like buying spot. When you buy spot, you tend to think that people are going to withdraw it, put it in a wallet, and stay there for a little while, right? Medium term, long term. But when they do it with open interest, it's very clear that it's like a spring. It goes up, comes back, and just bounces. DXY is a bullish news. We get a breakdown on Friday that is positive. Altcoin season cannot happen with the DXY going higher. So seeing a breakdown here on the RSI, seeing it as well in the price action is awesome news. This is on the 2 daily chart. And I remember I put some alerts years ago saying that if in the 2 day you get a breakdown of the DXY, that typically is the beginning or getting very close to an altcoin season. So have a look at this video that went live on Saturday. You can see here all that's included in that video. And then I also published on Saturday about Caspa trading bot. You can trade any coin, but with Caspa, it's just that the performance, it's outstanding. And there are discounts as well to join Ganium and to give it a try with 36%. If you're a VIP member, you can use that. If not, you get just a 20%, but still a great discount. So now that we have completed with the tweets, let's go with Bitcoin. Let's look at the 4 hour, the daily. How is my thesis progressing through the weekend? And then we jump straight into the coins. So make sure that if you have any coins that you want me to review, that is there in the comments, and hit like and be as noisy as possible. I will really appreciate that to help the stream to get to over 100, 300 people. That will be amazing. So we have the broadening descending wedge on the 4 hour here. We have the CPR. We talk about this rejection here. We say that this rejection here was different than this one and than this one, because this and this, after the rejection, the price went 10K down. Okay, so we got, I think, 10K on this one. Am I right? Yeah, almost 12K down from that rejection. And from this rejection, you got 10.2K. And from this rejection, we stop at support. So that was pretty promising. We got this rejection there right at the ABCD harmonic pattern. We were forecasting a rejection here, but after we saw support coming to the rescue, my reaction was, okay, we might as well make another attempt. And that's what we did. And we ended up breaking out. And the RSI on the 4 hour did what we never like seeing, which is the breakdown and then retesting very far, but still below the momentum. And yeah, so basically now my concern is, are we going to come back to 57.7, which is located right here? Let's put a horizontal line there. So if we did that, the price is going to re-enter here inside this pattern, and people are going to get shaken out. They're going to say that it was just a fake out, that it won't continue going higher. And that could be the case. At this point in time, it's too early to say, and we will have to see if it respects the support, if it's just a week inside. There's too many details to be able to tell if after entering we are going straight to 50. I still have my orders there. I don't want to go to sleep and wake up on Monday. We went to 50, we bounced strong up, and now we are heading to 65, and I didn't manage to buy. So my orders are there, safe in the exchange. And I wanted to cover the daily as well. This was impressive because I was saying on Friday that it's very likely that we're going to go to the 51, and we were just 1 point away from the 51 in the morning. This is a live candle. So with the current mini correction that we're seeing in here, which is a 1.1%, that is pushing the RSI back down. Now we are at 46, but we touch almost this level. And my thesis was that if we get there, we have a strong level of resistance at 50. We are in a weekly lost momentum kind of scenario. And my thesis is that the daily is going to have a struggle to see this breakout because the weekly is pushing us still a little bit further down. We need to be prepared to be wrong, because if Bitcoin breaks above 51, we immediately get a breakout on the daily, and we need to start flipping the thesis to the counter thesis and start looking for higher prices. But still, that's not the case. Strong rejection right at resistance so far. Price might continue that battle for a little bit longer. But on the daily, we have bullish divergence on the market cipher. We enter in the cyclic RSI, we enter in the cross-fit ratio, and we have lots of number of different bullish signals on the daily. But you can see that we have this resistance from the trend line. So that's against the daily, currently being rejected. We also have the RSI line that is coming from the 51 RSI on the daily, that we were very close to touch it. That was my thesis, rejection right there. We managed to get above it, not as high as I was expecting. And then I'm expecting now to see the lows. That's my primary thesis. I have a secondary one. And yeah, so that's going on with the RSI. Let's continue. Another reason to think that Bitcoin could still see more selling pressure is because all the selling that there was, not all the selling, all the deposits from large holders, I'm using here the Big Well Explorer indicator, that occur here. Then you see price going up. And what do they do with these deposits? They wait for slightly higher prices just to dampen you. So what we are seeing here is a very similar amount of deposits at 169. This was at 176, and the all-time high was at 2.16. So still substantial, and the price is going high. So my thesis is that these guys deposit in here. They haven't sold. I might be wrong. Maybe they are already sold, and they're waiting for a slightly higher price to dump. So it's impossible to forecast 100%, but that's my thesis. And my second thesis as well, part of that thesis as well, is that the bull market support band right now is resistance as well. So we are going to potentially uh, enter anywhere around here. But right now, the 21 weekly, I think is the green, is currently holding us at 60.8. If we cross that, then we get the next resistance at 65.5. So very quickly we could get there. And I'm going to show you very quickly 2019. Sometimes you lose the bull market support band during a bull market. This was COVID, so obviously it was pretty tough for Bitcoin to be here. Everybody under the hood and the wells, I'm pretty sure that they were dumping, thinking, oh, a pandemic is coming, so let's start selling. And that was pushing the price with lower lows and lower highs. And you can see that even if you lose the bull market support band, sometimes you come and you manage to conquer it back, but then you get rejection as well again. And then this one here, another rejection. And then finally, eventually you break this line. So that's why this megaphone pattern that we have here, I'm still using it in here, because what my thesis is that I don't care what we're going to do here. I just care that eventually we're going to break from there, and that should resume the bull market. We are above the 200 daily. We have a daily bullish cross on the MACD that we covered on yesterday's videos. And now we are struggling maybe to hold above the 200. Hopefully we hold it. And we have a buy signal closing today. Hopefully, if we hold at these levels, we might get a second buy signal from servers. And I want to show you in the past. So this moved to 48. This one here was, sorry, around here in the bottom of the bear market. We didn't get signal, but we got a signal in here, another one here, and another one halfway through to go to 72. We got a second one right after the summer in 2021, I think. And that's when we went from 28 to 69. So that was a great second signal as well. And this time we're getting a second signal. Have we ever got 3 consecutive buy signals? Yes, but that's a long time ago. I think it happened around here. And it's also a bit invalid in this area because this indicator uses all the USD stable coins. And I think at this point, I don't have data from some of the stable coins. So I kind of ignore this part, this history of this particular indicator. And yes, let's go into the altcoins. So I hope you guys have written all your requests up there so I can have a look. And let's focus on the altcoin season, okay? We've been here for a while below the index 25, which is Bitcoin season, and we just broke above this level. We say that we should be expecting it quite soon, even though sometimes you spend a long time. But when you spend a long time in Bitcoin season, that's typical behavior of a bear market. In bull markets, in the summer, you tend to have some Bitcoin season, but it doesn't last very long. This again is bear market. In here, this in the middle of the bull market, 2020. I think this is November. You have a Bitcoin season, and that is the last leg of the previous cycle to the upside. So how long was this? From November to January. Here you have a very short-lived Bitcoin season as well in May in 2020. That is equivalent to where we are. So I wasn't expecting to be in Bitcoin season very long here. And also because the Bitcoin dominance was telling us here that we lost momentum in May. In May, it was already saying, I had enough going up and I'm going to start curving down. And our altcoin season lives in this area of the Bitcoin dominance. And potentially after losing this trend line, we just have one more trend line to lose and we are there. Uh, the bad news is that if you are very conservative and you're not entering within here, which can be really painful as well. If you buy here, you are going to have to tolerate drawdowns of 40, 50% sometimes. But then once you exit from here, you can go 10x, you know. So some people buy here and then they get shaken out, they get scared, they sell, and then they see that the price goes so far high and they regret it forever. But I think one big point about this is I don't buy when altcoin season is already at the top. Uh, many people, many influencers are saying, "Oh, we are on the way to the altcoin season. Let's wait until we get to 75." That's wrong. When you're at 75, everything already pumped so big that you were just left behind. When this says altcoin season, it means you were left behind. You're going to buy late and they're going to dump on you. So you have to buy early. You have to find technicals that tell you that it's coming. You ideally you minimize that pain of being in drawdowns that are constantly happening in this area. You hold without a stop loss, all risk on, and then you wait until it goes all the way to the top, and then you sell at that top. You don't buy at the top. And that's a little bit silly. Also, on the altcoins in total free, this by Sunday, hopefully, we're going to close with this candle. That will be magnificent. It means that we are once again holding support, and support has given 36% there. It has given 168% in the total market cap. Okay, so some coins during those periods have done 10x or even more. Although this bull market, the altcoins haven't been as they used to be in the previous cycle. I think we haven't seen anything yet with the altcoin market. If there's going to be anything big, it's going to be so much bigger than this. But we need to arm ourselves with patience and not get shaken up. So these coins were the ones that I covered in the previous altcoin video. So I'm going to go just very quickly through them. We can see that Ethereum bounced perfectly in our support here. The cross variation was a perfect signal. We broke above the trend line on the RSI, which is what we wanted. So everything is on the way, pointing towards more upside. So don't read this as I read the future. Just read it as, okay, we are going from 50% chances we are going higher. Now we are going to 80% chances we are going higher. But I'm not going to give you 100% because I don't see a future. We got also underperformance in the socials. That's typically close to a bottom. And the shorts went to extremes, and now they're still very controlling here. The shorts haven't yet turned into a lot of longs, so we are early. That is good. Okay, this means that this has room to go higher. If we were at the top of the deltas here and this was at 79, 100, we will say there's too many longs, guys. This is too risky. Like for example, being here, that's the top, or being here, that's a few percentages closer to the top. BNB doing pretty good. Still far from the 600 that I wanted to get, but is looking good. And TIA, I wanted to cover it because I saw in this indicator here that I've been using now to spot points of interest in the altcoin market, and I saw some TIA on with a 100% open interest. And after opening the chart, we saw that was to do with too many longs. And since then, since we saw that, this printed also a delta signal and is now 17% down. But the day I show you this on a live stream, this was barely like 3 or 4% down. And this entered a territory that was the highest open interest that this has done, statistically speaking, okay, normalized in using percentile nearest rank and all this mathematics, blah, blah, blah. So that was a good short, and it's currently breaking below the point of control. So it's losing, it's becoming a little bit bearish in my opinion. BCH is also breaking out at the moment, pointing down, so probably mimicking what Bitcoin is doing. Oh, Bitcoin is pointing up. Interesting. So BCH is pointing down. They typically mimic each other. Very interesting to see that BCH is coming for a retest. What is Bitcoin doing? Well, it's getting some rejection at my level of resistance, but still can do a little bit more. And let's continue with FTM. I think some people wanted to see FTM. I saw it in one of the comments. I'll go through all the comments, by the way. Okay. First, I need to cover the previous videos because people were asking, give an update on them. So FTM is still in the breakout area. Nothing has been broken yet. Just confirming that breakout. LTC breakout, very humble against resistance at 71. We got 76 next and 89. And yeah, not too many longs, so that is good. MNT finally starting to show strength to do that breakout, which is great. After the cross-fee ratio signals that were pretty good. If you were DCA in there, you will be just entering the in the money area. We're going to have some difficulties recovering 0.8 just because this was support. Also because this looks a little bit tough to beat. It's like a head and shoulders pattern, and it looks like we're coming for a retest. So crossing fingers that MNT can break above 0.8. Otherwise, treat 0.8 as a high risk area. Okay, partial profits, or look at your trade, monitor your trade if you're still in the money at that point. Let's go with Link. Link is in the breakout. Shorts are dominating. I bet there must be loads of leverage shorts here, hoping for the best, hoping that this is not gonna go too high. And we also have a level here of support. If we are reclaiming this support, that is very positive for Link, because this will be seen as a liquidity grab with a potential to go to the top of the range. So looks bullish for Link, that thing there. And we got two signals of the cross-V, so everything looking good. STX stacks should be doing good. There were some good news that I read in the beginning of the stream as well, bouncing on the same support of January. This retraced all the profits from December. Wow, that must be really painful if you entered late. And we got a breakout internal, but we still don't have the breakout, the global breakout. Okay, so coming from February, another retest in June, and now we are approaching 53. We haven't done that, and we already have loads of longs. So careful with this one. Maybe wait for a retest here. And actually, I say that in the stream before this happened. I say, be careful here, wait for retest, and guess what? The shorts are coming in and are pushing it down. Eventually, the price will follow up. We'll see. Maybe too many people went long because they were expecting to win the case against the SEC, and now they're starting to take some profits. Let's see how it progresses that. And EOS had a bunch of bullish signals, and we got a breakout here at around 38 on the RSI. It looks very good from a range of 88. It made to 22, quite a big range of RSI to do since February, since March, and now breaking out around here. The longs are also breaking out at 48, so halfway through to get to too overextended in number of longs. Let's go with core. So pretty much all the coins, with the exception of STX, has broken out from the pattern that I showed you in the previous video, or they are going even further than what I showed you in the previous video. So that means that it was good, a good call. I have to say the call is based on this, and it's based on the other fundamentals, right? Looking at the dominance, looking at the flow of the cash, looking at all those things, and expecting maybe Bitcoin to move to 51 at the very at the worst case scenario, or holding and going sideways. All of that is helping the altcoins. That's why we are timing well these entries. So guys, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I've got this massive list that I compile from requests that you guys made in comments on YouTube and on Twitter. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give privilege to the first person that comments in the video. So I'm gonna start with FTM. I already did. EOS I did. BCH. I think I'm missing Injective. So People that are live, you know, are awesome. So I really appreciate that. So you guys are gonna get the first review, and the people that wrote comments, I'm gonna try to do all of them, but at the end of the video. So we got a breakout here on injective, but I'm not as impressed with this one because it goes from 65 to 33. So it's a range of around 30 in the RSI. It hasn't moved that much. It's pretty constrained, but we could say that this line that is holding there is also good. So we are in an area of a squeeze, and we're having this breakout there. But still, it's not a very strong breakout. It is a breakout. And also injective, I can see that has been stronger than the rest of the altcoins, because I don't see any entry to the Crosby ratio, which happens when you are very oversold with volatility. And in this case, we had one signal at $22, and we went slightly lower, but the Crosby ratio went higher. So that's a divergence. That's also bullish for injective. And we got the lunar crash signal happening at $20. That's also good. And we got a sell signal from the delta when the longs went too long at 66. And that signal precisely a 43% drawdown. Wow, that was a great delta signal. Impressive. Right now we are holding support at $18. This support comes from this resistance that we had in December 2023. And we have a little bit of a liquidity graph. Let's zoom in into this in here. So we did there. So far, this is holding, and let's hope that we're gonna get a breakout from here rather than anywhere in this area. A close below 18.7 might be all that we need to potentially go all the way to below $10. Oh, that's too much. I think we have support at $14. And yeah, because I'm looking at the daily chart, so the ranges here are massive. So we got that support, then we have 14 and $10. I'm gonna leave that there, but then we have $30 here, and the next resistance is at 24. So if we broke out there, conservative is 24, then followed by 31. Point of control is at 37. Impressive that in this whole year, most of the trading of injective happened at $38. So that also confirms that this is from technicals, this is saying that it's a great peak of a coin, because most of the other coins didn't hold that well in this area. They sold much more. Let's go with the next. Aerodrome. I never heard that. Aero USDT. Aerodrome Finance. It's listed on Coinbase. Let's have a look. This was listed in February. It's a new peak. And yeah, it's having a breakout, a long-term breakout in here with a retest. The breakout was on the 6th of July. Okay, so we are well ahead in the breakout right now, getting to 55, which was the same momentum we had in May. So I think we're gonna see some resistance here and there. So 0.85, 125 is gonna be resistance, and we bounce perfectly at the support of 38. So hopefully we're gonna be able to stop the bleeding, because this is doing lower lows and lower highs. If it gets to 85, be careful with a final shakeout here. If we break above this, get ready for potentially getting to 125. But momentum has shifted. So it started shifting from around June, and then it made this final low, and now it's building the channel to the upside, which is great. Let's go with the next, injective and FTM. All of that is done. Stefan is saying, appreciate your insight. Do you reckon it's a good time? Let me see if I can put the comments on the screen. Great show. I'm interested in injective and FTM. I did those two. I hope you can rewind on YouTube. Um, what was the question? Yeah. Do you reckon it's a good time to buy alts now? Would you buy 2x leverage? Um, no. 2x leverage? No. Is it a good time to buy? Alts, it's way more riskier than buying Bitcoin. You have to get right the timing. The videos I've been making are telling us that there is an 80% or over 70% chance that we might enter in the close future, in the next months, into an altcoin season. Of course, all of these things, anyone that pushes the elbow against the ink leaves a mess, right? So yesterday there was a shooting. If that shooting went bad, we wouldn't have altcoin season. It will be a mess. So anything can happen. So I cannot tell you that I see the future. I can just tell you, given the current setup, the scenario that we are now, altcoin season is pointing to 45. It looks like it's trying to go to the top end. And if you're not already in coins and it reaches 75, you missed it. Okay. So it's always like that. It's very difficult to time when to enter. And also it's difficult to know if it's gonna come. So if something really bad happens until the end of the year, like I've been covering the Nasdaq that is looking really toppy, and the S&P, although I'm not trying to time that thing, I think is in a high risk area. But who knows? Maybe it might top in 2025, mid 2025. So you just wait 1 year doing nothing? I guess you need to think, how much do I want to risk on this? Okay, and not go all in. And if you're wrong, so be it. Okay, so money that you can afford to lose, and if you make a 10x, good for you. I hope that answers the question, in that did leave you more confused. So Tia, I think I already covered it. I mentioned that I spot that one because the open interest was so high. At the moment it's selling out, and I say that it's looking a bit bearish to me, but you never know. Maybe the fundamentals are so strong that it might have another push very soon. Can you do Shismu? It's impressive, guy. I learned more about altcoins from you than from my own research. Shismu. Uh, where am I gonna find? Okay, this is a Uniswap. Shismu ETH. Let's do this against USDT. Oh, I'm not sure. I cannot do TA of this, unfortunately. Maybe it's something new, and but I don't have enough data. Okay, it's just going higher since April, but there's nothing really I can hook on to give you any insights in terms of technicals. So let's go with the next, which is say USDT. Let's put it in the chart, and what do we see? Okay, so this is one of the coins that was with a lot of shorts in here. They insisted all the way, and we got finally the cross-V ratio entering here. And now we got too many longs, you can see, and they're still pushing. This can stay there, by the way, guys. Sometimes I tell you, when it reaches this level of too many longs, I just close my deal, close my long. But sometimes some coins remain there like for many days, where the longs are just dominating and nothing can stop them. That particularly happens if there's lots of liquidation levels at the top, and they just keep chasing those liquidation levels, and that drives the small cap coin higher. So I don't want to tell you that just because we touch the top level of longs, we have to go down. Typically, there is some bounce, which you can scalp. That this is a bounce of 10% to the downside, so great. But it's also kind of building a nice pattern here, because this is larger, and then you have here like the handle of a cup, of a mini cup. So let's do some mini TA here. So if this was a cup and handle, and this is the high, you can put this there and say that it might reach the previous level of support. So we got some confluence. So if this breaks out above 0.33, there is a chance that it can make it to 0.44. And how much is that in percentage? That will give you a 32% roughly, which is not bad. And also, if we made it to there, probably there will be a breakout. Well, by the way, there's already a breakout. Let's do the global. The global is there, and let's do the local from here. So there was a local breakout that pushed to here, roughly around the level of resistance, but it seems to be more biased towards breaking out at the moment at 46. The line is at 43, so it's 3 points above it. So potentially this might shoot higher. Say, I think I have it in my list. Let's go with the next. Let's go with Ape. I remind you guys, if you want me to do any other coin, just write it down in the comments, preferably on YouTube. That's the one I can see the quickest. Ape had a cross-V ratio signal here. That's a golden one. And let's see this breakout. No breakout yet, but we have a global there. Ape is quite lagging. I mean, looking at the other altcoins where we are today, my selection of strong coins, there was almost no coin that I chose 1 week ago that hasn't break out today. And some of your choices, guys, are way behind. Like this guy is like some of the coins that I picked last week, and in a local breakout, attempting it for the first time. So that's the strength of this coin versus the other ones that we picked last week. There's loads of shorts, so there's fuel to potentially push high and maybe crash those shorts. True. And you have underperformance in socials on the 18th of June. That tells you that the bottom is getting closer. The lowest the performance in social, when people start almost forgetting about the coin, and then you get a loss of shorts. That is where the market maker goes and crush them all back to where they came from. So yeah, there's potential on that. I'm just showing you that relative to my picks here is not as strong. And people were asking me why you didn't put in the strongest coin Solana. Are you crazy? Well, let's go to Solana. Let's see why was that reason. And I think the reason I gave was because Solana is, at the time I recorded that video, was already ahead of us. And well, personally, because I already bought at these levels here at 120 something, I think it was, at support basically. And then from support, we broke out here, we came back, we retest. And when I was recording the video, it was around here. So I didn't want to give you a call around here before a retest on Solana. Although fundamentally speaking, is amazing, right? But I'm giving you an entry. I won't give you this entry. It's already broken out. It came back, and here is doing some sort of craziness. It's not bearish, right? It's just retesting, but it's struggling to put a higher high, and the longs again are invading the Solana leverage futures, and this is not a nice place to enter on a long, in my opinion. Just personal opinion. I rather seen here that the shorts are having their party, and I sneak into the party and I place my position and I just wait. And that's how I do it. I prefer to do it, and I think I did it here, right? So if you look at this area, you are at support. You have the delta signal included in the VIP subscription. You have the lunar crash included in VIP subscription below the trend line, waiting for a breakout at support. And then you buy 120 20 something and you just hold. If we break below this, if we break below 124, let's say that there is bad news on Monday, we go to 51. Who knows? Maybe we visit this area. Is quite low. It's too low in my opinion. What do we have here in terms of volume? We have this spike here at $100, of course, psychological level. So you have 100, then you have 81 holding January. And do we have any super? Well, that's too far, $50. Don't count on that unless we enter bear market. But yeah, Next level of resistance on Solana is at 154, then you have 185, and then you have the 207. How high can we go? Well, let's say we conquer 69 on the RSI. Let's give a number just from the RSI. 69 using the VIP RSI. That will take us to 182, 183. So that is in the range. And the top of the range given by the percentile nearest ranks, I don't have that here. This is not the latest version. Percentile plot, 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 plot. No, I don't have it here. Anyways, let's go with the next coin. What is this comment about football? Spain versus England tonight should be fun for you. I signed up for Trading Different under your link this morning. Oh, thanks so much for that. Really appreciate it. Lots of people are guessing that I'm from Spain, but maybe because of my accent, or maybe because I go a lot for holidays to Spain. I just like their sun and their weather, their food, but I have no connections with Spain. Um, if we get if we get to 30 likes, I will tell you where I'm from and all that stuff, a little bit more insights. We are at 17 likes, so 30 likes before ending the stream, and I'll give you a few insights. Let's go with Dot. That's the next request. Let's see. Wow, beautiful. I love when things align. And well, it didn't align with that, but it aligned with this and this. It's kind of building something here. We are at 53, and the longs haven't crossed 50, so it's not too many longs, but there's still not a global breakout. Let's put this correctly. Like, it should be somewhere there, and this is just a local breakout that took you there, then retest. No, dot is early. Okay, it's behind my list. That doesn't make it bad. Some coins have different timing, and that timing is driven by how hot is the coin at the moment, in terms of the socials, how people uh, perceive the coin at the point in time. But maybe dot is going to end up doing way higher prices than any other coin. You never know. The point is, right now dot is behind, so it was a better call any of these other coins for a breakout, and dot still hasn't done it. But dot is better than the previous coin that someone showed me. I won't go back. Let's go with FET. FET is here. Let's place it like this, so to get the maximum number of touches, even though here you have a rejection at 1.7 resistance, fake out back in the range, and now attempting for a second time, but this time is trying it. Well, two times it's been. This time it made it to 1.165 and then to 1046, which was my next level of support. That was from before there. So hopefully that breakout will take us to 117. Let's see. Do we have any significant level around here? The 2118, that was an order block. This one is an order block. This is a mini order block. I don't know if you really want that level there, just in case 144 is there. Let's recognize it. And hopefully that is going to be the breakout. But I will prefer, for healthiness, that my breakout occurs above this. Just because whenever there's a fake out, I tend to move the line. And whenever I forget to do that, and then I consider this a breakout, then it's a fake out. So I tend to correct myself and put the boundary higher, and let the momentum convince me that now it can do higher than that momentum. And that makes sense to me, at least. Next coin, FET, look into Aerodrome. Yeah, I did look into that one. And XRP. Oh, good idea. Let's go into XRP. Great idea. Oh my God. Where did it make this? I love when I open a chart and I see that it's touching the line because that means that I left the line and we went straight to that. Uh, of course, it's amazing. So we had all this level here constraining us, this trend line. I assume that I did this TA. No one else has access to my computer. And it was resistance all the way. And we were talking about this and I don't remember. I have terrible memory. So I don't remember if I say that there was this percentile signal here. And after that, it broke above the resistance. And in terms of the RSI, it seems to be a beautiful pattern too. So you got the local, sorry, the global resistance in here. Can we connect it with that? No, it's too far away. So let's leave it like that. And let's say that on the 12th of July, so 2 days ago, we had this breakout. Beautiful, amazing. And it crossed a bunch of times with my percentile nearest rank band. Those were great entries as well. And the target I left here was 69. But I guess that's from a previous chart that we were looking into another coin. So maybe it's not from this, and I'm just counting victory. At the moment, it's seeing resistance at my level of 0.53. It's also the point of control. So if XRP manages to conquer that one, I see more upside coming just because it's the point of control. And of course, rejection here might take us to 48. Be careful with XRP because XRP in the past, it's been annoying me so much. Like I remember, I think it was in July that we had this massive pump and I remember selling and then it was crashing back down and I rebought at the same level. So I ended up with more than double the amount of XRP thanks to calling for this and saying, no, I don't trust this thing. That was amazing. But XRP does this. You know, how many times is pushing higher and then coming to the same level? So let's be careful with XRP here. I know that they are good news and people are so passionate about XRP. It annoys me. Um, what is next? XRP. It's covered. Thanks for giving us real insights. Let's do GAND. I don't recall this GAND USDT. Sorry, I put Gala. It was supposed to be GAND. GAND. It doesn't exist. Nasir, have a look at GAND. I cannot find it in crypto unless it's misspelled. Let's look at AVAX in the meantime. AVAX USDT. I'm gonna keep on the right hand side all the requests that people made in comments on Twitter. So if you are now live, you can make a case so I can quickly look at it as well. AVAX, where is it? AVAX. Let's see. Okay, it had a high of momentum in December. Wow, quite a long time ago. Since then, it's been losing momentum and it hasn't broken from there. We could do something a little bit more humble like this, and not even that. This breakout happened already in June, end of June. It broke out to here, and we seem to be still trapped there to make it to here and then possibly to break above this. Oh, it's very difficult to trade this. And we need to protect that we don't break down either. So if we see a rejection there and then this comes below here, that will be a breakdown and possibly coming to find some low there. It doesn't look like it's giving something as clean as it used to do in there. Let's see the price action. What did it do after this? It went just sideways and then lower. What's going on with AVAX? It's just bleeding. It doesn't look that bullish to me because this was the breakout in June. It's just going sideways. Anyways, I think Ethereum and others, Solana, are taking the spotlight at the moment, and AVAX is a little bit quiet. Not a bad pick. I like AVAX. I'm a back holder as well. um, Theta, yeah, I remember holding Theta in 2021. It did amazing things for my portfolio, but this bull market, I haven't been holding it. It's one of those holds that you need to way arm yourself with a lot of patience, because there's big community, and the ecosystem of Theta involves very large companies. So it's not as sexy as, you know, all the people at the moment on top of the meme coins attracting so much and making so much noise, but there are good fundamentals behind Theta. So Theta is preparing something better than AVAX from the technical point of view. In the fundamental, we got a bunch of Crosby signals here, a percentile that occurred in July that is already ahead of us with a 15% up, and our point of control is at $1, at least starting from October. So that is strong support, and we are very close to that. So we need to be prepared for this breakout. If it fails to go to $1, that's like a magnet. The longs are entering, still not overheated in longs. And targets, you have resistance at 178. I presume that that's going to be a tough to beat. Then we have an order block at 2.3, another resistance. Then we have 2.4, and then higher prices of 3. It's incredible. We were at 3.5 just in March. Right now we are in July, and we are less than half that price. And on this side, do we see, oh, wow, this is not great. Okay, so we had a resistance in December at around 142, and that threw us back down even below $1 because we couldn't get above that. And at the moment, we were pushed below the same resistance. So I'm assuming that some people are going to argue that if we don't hold 1.4, we are not even going to go to the point of control, but even to 0.95, like a last line in the sand there before you actually enter bear market. Anyways, you also have this sort of line there. It's a long-term hold, let's call it like that. I wouldn't say it's a shitty coin, okay? There's fundamentals and everything, but it's very slow to move. And we got another comment from Mohammed. Thank you so much for your review. I'm considering holding altcoin. I was wondering if you think it will be better to hold onto them until next summer or fall. I have allergy to summer. I mean, holding altcoins in summer tends to be very painful. Summer is a great time to consider accumulating things, seeing blood on the streets, and start adding a little bit more DCAing and doing these kind of things. Not to do 2x, not 3, 4, 5x's and stuff like that, because summer, you never know how low it can go. We still have selling pressure on Bitcoin, even with the bullish price action of today. My thesis. Let's see what's Bitcoin doing now. Not, yeah, still being held there, but below 60. Yeah. So I will say be careful how you enter the market, but at the same time, if there is no pain, there is no gain. That is also true. So unfortunately, if you are not in a position during the summer with something, if there was to be that altcoin season, you're just going to miss it. If someone tells you we are in altcoin season, you missed it. It needs to be during the blood on the streets where you enter, and hopefully with some insights. If you don't use these indicators or this technical analysis, use something else. You just don't enter randomly, because you can see that they can go from $3.5 to 0.9 in just a couple of months, which is crazy. Let's look at ADA very quickly. ADA. I'm a back holder of this crap. I know it's got technology and everything, but it just keeps bleeding. So my pain is just purely because it doesn't allow me to get rid of the bag. I got rid of all the bags from the previous bear market except for ADA. So I hear ADA and it gives me itchiness. March, we got a top here, another top here. We starting to see some momentum. We are at 62. Longs are very close to getting exhausted, and that is probably because they're confronting 0.44. That was support all the way here. After we lost 0.44, we dump another 27%. That's typical ADA. And well, the next level of support is in October 2023 at 0.24. Hopefully, we don't need to go there again. And hopefully, the altcoin season comes at the rescue and we go to levels like 0.6, which is the point of control, or we hit 0.57, 0.67, 0.77, all-time highs. I don't know, guys. I don't know if this is going to make an all-time high. Well, ADA does these things that it surprises you, but you can tell here how far we are from this. Hopefully it does it. Okay. Hopefully I'm wrong, but I think I bought somewhere here. Sorry, somewhere here in 2021, and I write it all the way up, and then I forgot to sell it. I was just paying attention to something else, and then I say, "Well, surprise! I have a red back here that I forgot about," and I decided to hold it here, and I've been DCAing it and trying to rescue it, and I'm very close. I was very close to exiting a 0.80 at break even. So if we go slightly higher, I'll be happy to tell you when I got rid of it. Ape, I already covered it. Let's do Miro or Miro. It's like that. Yeah, it's on Mexi. Okay. Wow, why so many coins are printing head and shoulders? That's my question. It's very typical to see this. It freaks me out because I train my eye to see head and shoulders, and now I see them everywhere. I mean, I go to supermarket and I see head and shoulders everywhere. Anyways, this is a breakout here. It's breaking out from very low, which is great, from 26, and it made a high of 74. So that's a big range and being held by the trend line together with some Crosby ratio signals. Let's see how far we are from those entries. One was at 0.13 and the other one at 0.09, and right now we are at 0.10. Not bad. It's looking good, this thing. It's looking good for a potential bounce up. If it was to lose that level, then you're going to have to look into 0.06. And let's see, do they match in here? They don't match much, but you have all those. And the point of control very low at 0.20. In terms of upside on this coin, you have 16. You have the order block at 39. Let me see confluence. I see some confluence with this level just because it bounced there. We could say somewhere there with that resistance and that level there. And then, of course, you have this top. So that is the upside. Let's see if this was to make that move. That's 42, 65, 100, and 193 to recover all the way to that. That's the price we had in June. What a sell. How much is this? 70% down. Oh my God, that's painful. Anyways, it seems to be breaking out from there. These coins don't act like Bitcoin. Although this looks like a clean breakout with a retest, that is awesome. That's giving you a hedge, but it doesn't give you 100% guarantee. So if Bitcoin bleeds, this takes this down. And I know you guys don't want to hear that. You want to hear that you're trading an asset that is completely independent from everything, that just goes up when it wants to go up. Unfortunately, in crypto, things respect BTC, respect Ethereum. We're not in a bubble. So when you see a breakout like this, if Bitcoin goes to 51, this guy will come here and will put a struggle to hold there. That's the reality. So if you have a stop loss, you're gonna get stopped out. If you have leverage, you're gonna get liquidated. So hopefully you use this in your favor with some of your capital, 1% or less, and then if it comes here, you add more to that, or you add more to another coin to hedge, not just being a single coin. Don't also DCA all your capital in a single coin, because that's as risky as going with leverage. Anyways, I'm not a financial advisor. That's the way I do things. And let's see, is there any other request? I think we are way over the hour. I'm gonna do the last ones here. GRT and Polygon. Those are the last two I'm gonna do. GRT and Polygon. USDT. Is it this? GRT? GRT. This one. Okay. Cool. This looks a bit cleaner to trade. It hasn't broken out. It's still goofing around above the point of control. Some bullish signals coming in. Longs and shorts halfway through. I prefer to enter like this, lows of shorts. Like you can see here, you break below the yellow, you break below the white line, and then you have this upside, 57%. And you hit the resistance, you take profit. Then you get another signal here from the percentile, you start adding, you get another one here, you start adding, and you wait for this breakout. But by having this line here, I get context. How far am I from the breakout? Like if I start adding in here at this range of the RSI, and my breakout zone is at 50 and I'm adding at 27, I already know that it's a tough one, because it means that, yeah, there are lots of shorts here, and I'm entering at the right time from the point of entering with the shorts. But it's difficult for the price to make a move from 25 all the way to here and break out and continue going higher. So it will do it in phases. That's why I prefer to, instead of marrying coins, I look for setups. I look for something a bit more clean, like this, dumpy, 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 close to the line, getting closer, double bottom, and all the other signals together, and it gives me a better hedge than just saying, oh, I like GRT. I'm gonna just enter because it's oversold. That doesn't tell you much. This time, sorry, let's go back to GRT. I'm showing you Ethereum still. This time was a great call. You have the delta and all the shorts there, and you were below the band of the RSI VIP, and you took all that against resistance. But this time here, there were not enough shorts. There was underperformance on Lunar Crash, true, but it kept going lower. So it wasn't a great call. Next one was Matic, USDT. And what do we have here? We have the point of control that I was driving before with the volume, strong resistance at 40, at 84. We couldn't cross that. So we were talking about this support that turned into resistance all the way from April until June was resistance. And we never managed to get above it. We sold, we found a signal percentile from cross-view ratio. And let's see where we are in the momentum. So some momentum is coming in right here. Very humble at 45. And very recently, a couple of candles before, we were overextended in the shorts. So Matic is looking good. I would like to see that Matic does something like recovering this support at 50. And I think that's what we're doing now, because that is turning this into a liquidity hunt. So learn your your science. So this was support from June 2023 until October 2023. It kept Matic above the psychological level of 0.5, and you have a sell from 129 to 144. Lots of shorts enter here because they thought this is gonna go to hell. Right there, you can see the proof, shorts and shorts there, but recently at the 6th of July. So on 6th of July, you got all the shorts. That's how you do liquidity grab. You get all those shorts below the range and you bring back the price above. So if this price now holds 50, it should go higher. And if this was on the 50 minutes, I will just trade it with leverage. I will put my stop loss below this and I will enter right, reconquering this, seeing some green candle, boom, let's go. Let's go all the way to the point of control or something slightly higher, because also the momentum is pushing up. Good pick, Matic. Might be for a comeback, hopefully. And I think that concludes everything for today. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, hit the like, make noise, do everything you can to help the channel.